One of the most important features in Photoshop is the ability to undo whatever you just did, because knowing that nothing that you do is permanent allows you to experiment and play in Photoshop. For example, if I choose the image menu and then image rotation and I flip this canvas horizontally, well, then I can choose to undo this. I can use the edit menu and choose undo, or use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl Z, or I can click on the open state or the previous state in the history panel. Now if your history panel isn't showing, go to the window menu and then choose show history. Now by default, the history panel keeps track of the last 50 commands, but you can change that in your preferences under performance. You can either increase or decrease the number of history states. Alright, let's start by adding some filters and making some quick adjustments, because I want to create several history states. I'll use the filter menu, choose stylize, and then solarize, then image, adjustments, and let's invert the photograph. I'll return to the filters, stylize, and add an oil paint effect, accepting the default values, and then go to image, adjustments, and hue and saturations in order to colorize the entire image. Finally, I'll use image and then auto tone. Now to go back multiple steps, we can use the history panel, the edit menu, or keyboard shortcuts. So with the edit menu, I can go back one state using Ctrl Z. I can toggle before and after using Ctrl Alt Z, and I can redo using Ctrl Shift Z. So if I use Ctrl Z once, I go back in time one step. Ctrl Z again goes back in time again, whereas Ctrl Shift Z will go forward in time. And we can actually see this happening in the history panel. Now if you don't want to remember the keyboard shortcuts, you can always just use the history panel by clicking directly on any of these states. So as I go back in time, if I were to do something to my image right now, all of these future states would drop off. Alright, if I want to revert the file, I can always choose the file and then close this, and close it without saving. Or I could select file and then revert, in which case Photoshop would reread the original file from the hard drive. Or I can click the snapshot at the top of the history panel. The snapshot was automatically taken when the file was first opened. One thing to note, when I close the file, the history will be discarded, so the next time you open the file, the history will start fresh. Alright, let's go ahead and close this without saving any changes. Now in future videos, we'll discover additional ways to work non-destructively with smart filters and adjustment layers. But as you can see, the ability to go back in time using multiple undo in the history panel is a huge advantage, because it enables you to work in a much more flexible environment where you really shouldn't hesitate to try something new. This is Saranvi channel, where you will learn every detail about photo and video editing. So subscribe my channel and like this video if you like it. Leave me a comment so I could get what else you want me to make just for you. Like always, I wish you the best and peace together.